Well, hello, everyone. Hello, this is Alexandra Levine live with the America's Pulse Network. You are all in tonight with me, Alexandra Levine. It is great to be here. Of course, we have major breaking news. Let's put up the first slide. So this came from my colleague, Tim Fazenmaker. This actually happened after we finished the Pulse last night. Pictures from North Minneapolis. This was last night after the Pulse around 9:30, close to 10 o'clock at night, where rioters destroyed federal vehicles and stole firearms, ammunition, and sensitive documents inside, all captured on live streams, the Party of Peace. And of course, these were Democrats. These were paid protesters. And this all has to do with George Soros. This is George Soros funded protesters. Protesters have actually admitted to Laura Ingraham and many others that they get paid to do this kind of crap. But this is what's going on all over the state of Minnesota. This is in Minneapolis, which is a big metropolitan city. And it's happening in St. Paul, which is the capital of Minnesota. And this is happening, guys. I mean, we can't turn a blind eye to it. For the last, I would say, 3 weeks, we have had major breaking news from the state of Minnesota, not in a good way. Somalia fraud, the fraudulent mayor, Jacob Frey, Tim Walz saying he's not going to run for governor again. I mean, everything is coming up to the surface. Arrests need to be made. Now let's go to the second slide. So the second slide is from my buddy, President @Real Donald Trump. He wrote today, if the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE who are only trying to do their job, I will institute the Insurrection Act, which people have been calling him to do, which many presidents have done before me, and quickly put an end to the travesty that is taking place in that once great state. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And my question to my audience, do you think that the president should institute the Insurrection Act? I wholeheartedly do. I wholeheartedly support this. I want this to happen. It has to happen. He also is thinking about declaring martial law, which a lot of people have asked him to do. This is something that is major, guys, major. You got a state, Minnesota, which is causing havoc, which is hurting ICE agents, which is hurting the constituents and the legal Americans of this state. And you have illegals all over this nation, specifically in liberal states, liberal districts, and liberal cities, sanctuary cities, and they're causing havoc. And as President Trump said yesterday, he will not fund any more sanctuary cities. He will not fund sanctuary states. Damon Gauda said last night that New Jersey is not being considered a sanctuary state. It's disgusting. It's disgusting what's happening around this country. We should not be having sanctuary states and sanctuary cities. As we see, it causes havoc. It causes pain. It hurts the economy of the state. And the legal citizens of the state get hurt 100%. You never put illegal criminals above legal citizens of your state, of your district, of your country. This is what President Trump keeps fighting for every single day, and we should back him on this 100%. We should be backing ICE. We should be backing Thomas Homan, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, ICE Agent Wolf, anybody who is involved with getting rid of these illegal criminals. That's who we should be backing and supporting. Enough of supporting people who don't give a darn about you. And I know that this is, travesty, and a lot of people say, well, this doesn't feel good, but this is reality, guys. This is reality, and it's up to you, the people, to hashtag wake up, to hashtag say I've had enough, and to combat this every single turn. And don't allow elected officials to push anti-ICE legislation into your county, into your city, into your district, into your state. Now we go into segment one. So segment one continues with the fall of Minnesota and the rise of Americans. We are having huge problems, as I said in our breaking news, with the state of Minnesota. It keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And the American people want arrests to be made. I'm one of them. I want arrests to be made. If we don't have arrests, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a major problem. What I said Tuesday night, a major boo. So if we don't have arrests happening, if Governor Walz doesn't go to jail with Keith Ellison, who is a part of the Nation of Islam with Louis Farrakhan and Ilhan Omar, more havoc is just going to be caused all over the state of Minnesota. And again, I pledge the question to my audience. Do they want President Trump to invoke the Insurrection Act? I'm one of those people that does. Let's put up the first slide, @Real Donald Trump. And my buddy President Trump wrote also today, a highly respected judge declined to block ICE operations in the very politically corrupt state of Minnesota. ICE will therefore be allowed to continue its highly successful operation of removing some of the most violent and vicious criminals anywhere in the world, many of them murderers, from the state. The great patriots of law enforcement will continue, to make our country safe. Record low crime numbers. And it's true. We saw this in DC. We've seen this everywhere. When ICE agents are in your state, when they're in your district, in your county, the crime goes down. And it's funny because Mayor Bowser finally thanked President Trump when he invoked the National Guard into DC. She finally thanked him for lowering the crime numbers. The more law enforcement is involved, the less havoc there will be. And anti-Semitism goes down, and hatred of other people, of Christians, goes down. We've seen this time and time again. It's very important, guys. It's very important that we understand how ICE is here to help us, not to hurt us. They are not Nazis. They're not the modern day Gestapo, like some idiots want to say, like Democrats say. They actually want to help we the people. They want to get the criminals off the streets. They want to get the illegal criminals off the streets. They want to get the drug dealers out of here, the drug cartels, the sex traffickers, the pedophiles, the human traffickers. They want to get them out of here. Joe Biden put them in there with Barack Hussein Obama and Kamala Harris and former Secretary of DHS, Alexandra Mayorkas, and Merrick Garland. All these corrupt idiots that were in the Obama-Biden administration and the Biden administration are complicit in this. They should all go to jail. They should all be held accountable and subpoenaed. And we don't need to have massive amounts of hearings. Yes, you can subpoena them, but we really need to just put them in jail. Subpoena all you want. And it's so funny. James Comer has subpoenaed Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. And all of a sudden, Hillary Clinton's in critical condition. And Bill Clinton, for some reason, he doesn't feel like he needs to be in front of Congress and be held accountable. We know that Bill Clinton went to Epstein's pedophilia island multiple times. I know the guy, and I've talked about the guy, Doug Band, who was the #2 guy to Bill Clinton. You couldn't get to Bill Clinton without Doug Band. Doug Band is in hiding right now because he exposed the Clintons with an op-ed reporter. Years ago, he exposed Chelsea Clinton and Chelsea Clinton's husband and her husband's family's dealings, which are very corrupt. The Medvinsky family is a very corrupt family. And Doug Band is now in hiding. I say subpoena Doug Band. Doug Band has a lot of information about the Clintons that really needs to come out and be told in front of the American people. But Hillary Clinton's not going to come. Bill Clinton's not going to come. That's why you don't subpoena these people. You lock them up. You lock them up. You put them in Alcatraz. You do something to them because they have done so much wrongful doing to the American people. They don't deserve to walk free. They don't deserve to sit on their golden toilets. They deserve to sit on a toilet in a jail cell or not have a toilet at all. They really deserve to go through what we the people have gone through for years and years and years under their leadership, because the state of New York was never the same under Hillary Clinton. And when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, our country was in turmoil. She was a horrible Secretary of State, one of the worst than Anthony Blinken. I think actually Anthony Blinken is the worst. But we have to understand, guys, that the more these people get away with it, nothing gets done. And I know that we the people, America First people, MAGA people, are very pissed off and they want justice. They want crap to happen. They want arrests to be made. But I can tell you, Pam Bondi's doing a hell of a job. So is Kash Patel, and the new deputy FBI director who replaced Dan Bongino is doing a phenomenal job too. So I know, guys, we're all like, where's the arrest? Where's the arrest? Where's the arrest? These people have been in their positions of power in less than a year. February will be a year. President Trump's only been in office for a year. I don't know why people are talking about 2028 already and who's going to be the next president 2028. Let's work with President Trump now. Let's work with him while he's in there. I'm tired of people like making all these predictions, and people are like, oh, well, President Trump is hanging out with Marco Rubio, or they're going to a game in Miami, so that means that Marco Rubio is going to be the 2028 president. Stop with that. Stop with the propaganda. Stop with telling us who to vote for. Stop with telling us what to do. Now, I will give you my opinion. I will give you my thoughts. I will give you facts. But we're not even close to 2028. We have 2 to 3 more years to go. Let's focus on 2026 right now. Let's focus on the midterms, because that's important right now. We want to make sure that we keep the Republicans in power with the House of Representatives. We don't want that flip. And we need to make sure to keep the Senate Republican as well. Because if, God forbid, the House of Representatives flips and you have Hakeem Jeffries as your Speaker of the House, nothing will get done. Nothing. It'll be horrible. It'll be a horrible 2 years, just like it was when President Trump had his first term. But we have to understand, guys, that having ICE near you is a good thing. But you have to ask yourselves, why do we need ICE? Why do we need to invoke an insurrection act? We have a governor. We have local leadership. Why can't they get their state under control? Because a lot of these governors and these local officials, county councilmen, county executives, they're all bought and paid for by the socialists that control them. They're all bought and paid for by the Somali fraudsters, all bought and paid for by terrorist organizations. This was proven years and years ago. It's just now coming out to fruition. Remember, the Obama administration brought in illegal Syrian and illegal Afghan refugees into this country. They brought in massive amounts of illegals with drug cartels pushing the massive illegal immigration, pushing the sex trafficking, pushing the human trafficking, the child trafficking, and so forth. And I just want to say a shout out to my viewers, people that are watching right now. I know there's a lot of people that are watching and not commenting, which is great. I love it. My loyal friend, Donald Willinger from Texas, Jorge Finkelman. Thank you guys so much. You guys always comment. You guys are always on. We love your support. And I just want to say, please, guys, follow America's Pulse Network. We are currently live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube, Rumble, X, True Social, Parler, TikTok, Instagram. We're on all the major networks. So if you go on YouTube and you're like, oh, there's only like one person watching, that's not true. We have multiple people that watch, but we are on multiple networks. So one network or one social media outlet maybe have more people than another. Some people don't have Rumble. Some people have more access to X. And you can always follow the network on my X, which is killer. I have a huge following on X as well as Facebook and TikTok actually now. And our Parler is kicking butt. So please, guys, I encourage you to watch us on the multiple, about 8 major social media outlets. And you can watch us not only nationwide, but you can watch us worldwide. I know people from Israel are watching me right now. Thank you. Shout out to my friends from Israel, and shout out to my friends from Argentina and Colombia and Chile, and a lot of people that are watching, and from Russia, and a lot of people that are watching from overseas and Australia. So anyway, so at Real Donald Trump, he's doing everything he can, or President Trump is doing everything he can to keep America safe and make America great again. That's why a huge influx of Democrats voted for him in 2024, because they had enough of socialist rule. If Kamala Harris, God forbid, would become the president with Tim Walz, we wouldn't have a country. I wouldn't be living in America today. Instead of these damn celebrities that have made so much money off we the people saying they're going to move to Greenland or going to move somewhere else, why don't they do something great for society? And why don't they put their money where their mouth is and give to charities and help we the people? Now, there's some celebrities out there that have actually called out the anti-Semitism, which I praise them for. But then, okay, you called it out, but where are you putting your money? Are you doing a rally? Are you going to Israel and giving money to the hostage families, the victims' families, the victims that survived? What are you doing with your money? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So you can say you combat anti-Semitism, but it's the actions that you take behind it. Let's put up the next slide at Real Donald Trump. So Real Donald Trump talked about the food stamp business. He said, does anybody believe that in Minneapolis, these are the food stamp businesses? There's no food, there's no cleanliness, there's no service, there's no nothing except fraud. They get sent millions of dollars of taxpayer money and lying that how stupid the Americans are, but not anymore. Excuse me, these people should be sent back to Somalia or any other country from where they came from. California, Illinois, New York, and so many other places are equally as bad. It's all a giant Democrat scam with protection from the fake news media, but it will end as we make America great again. And as you know, we are not a fake news media outlet. We are part of the new conservative media at the White House. I'm the White House correspondent. So the president loves that I put this out there and that I will report in real time and in truth about what that man does and what that man wants to do for we the people. And I love Caroline Levitt. She's a great White House press secretary. We congratulate her. She's pregnant. She's going to have a little girl. Congratulations to her. She came out during Christmas and told everyone about her pregnancy. And she had Riley Gaines at the White House today. Riley Gaines was there with her husband and her little girl. And Riley Gaines said, congratulations on being a girl, a mom boss, meaning she's going to have a little girl. And, you know, little girls are fun. They wear pink. They say they're usually very good when they're babies, but then when they become teenagers, you have to watch out. But anyway, it's congratulations to Caroline Levitt. She is actually in record time the first ever pregnant White House secretary. So kudos to her. But anyway, it's really important, guys. It's really important that we call out the fraud. President Trump just said, food stamp business. There's no food stamp business. No one has money. Nobody has food. The Somalis are coming in with their fraud, and everybody is making bank off these damn Somali fraudsters. So he has sent planes from Minneapolis to Somalia, Bon Voyage, or from wherever else these people are from. It's time to say goodbye. It's time that we call them out, like I've said over and over and over again. Hold these people accountable, put these people in cuffs, get rid of Ilhan Omar, get her out of Congress, vote her out, remove her, whatever you have to do. I read today breaking news that Rashida Tlaib was actually removed from her committees for her bad code of conduct. Well, I've been calling for her for the removal of her since she became a congresswoman. The fact that this woman who pledges allegiance to frickin' Palestine, to Gaza, Palestine doesn't even exist, by the way. She drapes a Palestinian flag over her body instead of the American flag. Instead of taking the oath of office, putting her hand on the Bible, she puts it on the freaking Quran. And she believes in Sharia law. And so does Ilhan Omar and Linda Sarsour and Bernie Sanders and all these other idiots. And Linda Sarsour is not in office, but she's got a big voice and a big mouth and a big organization. And she works with Zohran Mamdani. She's the reason why Zohran Mamdani is the mayor of New York City. You have all these idiots that will never pledge allegiance to the American flag. They will never stand for the Star-Spangled Banner, the American national anthem. They will stand for crap. They will stand for their countries, their respected countries. They are not America first. They're Somalia first. They're Uganda first. They're Palestine first, Gaza first, whatever the crap, Hamas first. I mean, we need to call these people out. I've called it out since 2019. I was on the steps of Congress calling the squad out in 2019. Removing these idiots, these congressmen and women from their committees does absolutely nothing. You have to put them in jail. You have to remove them from Congress and put them in jail. And I'm waiting to see who in Congress has the backbone to do this. Who in the House of Representatives, because Speaker Johnson doesn't have the backbone to do this. Who in the House of Representatives has the backbone to really remove these people once and for all? I mean, Speaker Johnson removes them from their committees. What the hell does that do? Absolutely nothing. Marjorie Taylor Greene was removed from her committees. Speaker McCarthy comes in. She gets put back on her committees. Now she's a turncoat. We find out she's a rhino, never Trumper, socialist, anti-Semite. I don't know what she is anymore. Like, her true colors came out because President Trump wouldn't support her or endorse her for Senate of Georgia because he knew she was going to lose. And she decided to retire or leave her seat before re-election because President Trump said to her, by the way, I'm going to primary your ass out because you're a biatch and you got a big mouth and you basically used me for power. So again, it's these idiots in the Republican Party and in the Democrat Party that ruin it for everybody. But again, my question to my audience, what do you want to happen? Are you tired of hearing about Minnesota in the news every single day? I know I am. I'm tired of reporting on it because it sounds awful. I want to report on something happy, but I can't because I'm doing my job. But the good thing is that the people in Minnesota that are causing havoc, that hopefully are all going to jail, we still have the actual legal citizens of Minnesota that can do something. You can take care of yourself. You can take care of your bodies, get married, have kids, leave the state if you can. But it's really important, guys, that we take care of ourselves because you only have one life to live. And on that note, don't forget to go to my affiliate sponsor, rncstore.com/ALL. That's rncstore.com, Richardson Nutritional Center. Let's put up that QR code. Ding! Richardson Nutritional Center, get 10% off if you use A.L.L. That's the QR code, rnc.store.com/ALL. Improve your life. So when you're stressed out, take this supplement. This prevents against cancer. If you have stage 4 cancer, it actually reduces the cancer. And it has some great nutritional benefits to it. It's got some great multivitamins in there. I take a multivitamin every single day, doctor recommended, doctor approved, FDA approved. All of this is FDA approved, by the way. So rncstore.com/ALL, put ALL in. The more you spend, the more you get off. And they have great promotionals. They have great things. I know a lot of people bought their stuff during Christmas, during New Year's, Thanksgiving. They have a lot of stuff during the holidays. My friend Donald said, when is he coming back on this show? As I've said before, Mr. Richardson is doing a tour right now. So he is focused on that. So he is, of course, still my affiliate sponsor. We will still promote him. And yeah, tell him to cancel his own show for a few days. Yeah, I wish. But no, I mean, it's great. I mean, the help that my network has done has really helped him soar. I mean, he was big before, but now he's even bigger because we've been promoting him on the show. So because we've been promoting him, now more people want him. More people want him at basically a convention near you. So he's been doing a lot of book tours, convention tours. He has his own podcast as well. And when he is done with his tour and done with his book tour and conventions, I can guarantee that he will be back. But yeah, we love him. He's a great guy and we love his stuff. And I have the pleasure of taking his stuff, and it has helped me. It's helped me lose weight. It's helped me with energy. And I feel more energized after I take his nutritional supplements. So please, guys, go to rncstore.com/ALL. Get that 10% off, because every dollar counts, man. And every dollar counts. The more dollars you can get off, that's even better. Stick with us, guys. Don't forget, don't touch that dial. Alexandra Levine Live will be right back after this break. Hi, I'm Alexandra Levine. I'm a professional opera singer, actress, TV, and radio personality. Since 2015, I've been a volunteer, a field director, and a campaign manager, learning the ins and outs of the political world. That's why I became a political consultant. My job is to lead you to victory with organization, structure, and the mindset of winning for your district or state. With my guidance and direction, I can keep you focused on the things that matter to the people and advise you on key issues that need to be addressed. If you're a serious candidate that is serious about winning, then book a consultation with me today. Go to levineconsulting.co. You'll be happy you did. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Alexandra Levine Live on the America's Pulse Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our network. Don't forget, we are live now on Facebook, on YouTube, on Rumble, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Parler, on Truth Social. And I think I said them all. We're on like 7 or 8 platforms right now. And of course, you can always follow me, Alexandra Levine, on Facebook, at Alexandra Levi 20 on X, at AR Levine 85 on Instagram, Truth Social, Parler, and TikTok. And I think that's about it. I'm on like every single media outlet alive. I'm very accessible. So now we go into the second segment, guys. This was major breaking news that President Trump announced in the Oval Office today. Caroline Levitt talked about it in the White House briefing room, the great healthcare plan. There we go, at the White House, the great healthcare plan. President Donald J. Trump unveils the great healthcare plan to lower costs and deliver money directly to the American people. Caroline Levitt said, President Trump's great healthcare plan will lower prescription drug prices, which we all want, lower insurance premiums, which of course we all want, hold big insurance companies accountable like United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Cigna, and et cetera, and maximize price transparency. This is so important, guys, because private health insurance is important. I know the Democrats want to tell you that Medicare for all and Medicaid for all and ACA. No. Regular everyday people need their own private health care. You know why? Because regular everyday people have different problems, different issues, different health problems. There's some people that are healthier than others. There's some people that are on disability. There's some people that are trying to get pregnant. There's some people that are pregnant that need special needs. There's people with pre-existing conditions. That's why, thank God that President Trump won re-election, because Kamala Harris wanted to get rid of private health insurance and make Medicare for all, which as you know, does not exist. Under law, you get on Medicare when you turn 65 years of age. So as a 20-year-old person, a 35-year-old person, how could I be on Medicare? How could I have Medicare for all? It does not work. It will never work. That is a socialist tactic. That's what socialism does. It is government control. Medicaid, the government telling you what type of healthcare you can have, what type of things are covered, and so forth. As you guys know, I am in the healthcare profession. I'm a licensed health and life and annuity specialist. I'm licensed in about 8 states and counting. And if you need help, if you need help getting insured, let me know, because I just was working with somebody. They're paying $500 a month with a $10,000 deductible, a single young woman. Guess what? She's not paying that anymore because of the healthcare plans that I got for them. I'm also working with a guy. He just turned 60 years old, 60-year-old man who's perfectly healthy. Well, if you connect him to a United Healthcare or a big health insurance company, they're going to jack him up. They're going to make him pay $600-700 a month. If he's perfectly healthy, why is he paying that much? Excuse me. So I was able to get him to $400 a month with a very low deductible, and he was happy about that. Now remember how health insurance works. The higher the deductible, the lower the premium. So if you don't want to pay $600 a month, you're going to have a higher deductible. So one of my other clients, she's 27 years old. She was about to pay $600 a month. $600 a month, a single girl, perfectly healthy. She's going to pay $600 a month, but she had a very low deductible. She had a $2,500 deductible. So in order for her not to pay the $600 a month and to lower her premium, we had to up her deductible to $10,000. And now she's only paying about under $500 a month. It's still a lot for someone 27 years of age, but $600 a month $495 a month compared to $600 a month is a big difference too. We saved her some money. We saved her a lot of money. We saved her over $100. So it's very important, guys, that you have to understand that the great healthcare plan is important for everyday Americans. And of course, we as Americans, we don't want to be dealing with the government if we can help it. If we can get off Medicaid and get off food stamps, even better. But there are people that are on disability. They stay on disability for a long time. I know people that are on SSI and SSDI, that's through the government. Those are people that are mentally ill, that have been in psych wards on and off for 15, 20 years, that have been on multiple different medications like bipolar medication and all this other stuff. They go manic, they can't work, they can't function. I know people like that. It's very sad. But to continue to push Obamacare, ACA, which, as we know, did not cover everybody. And Barack Hussein Obama lied to the American people and said, if you love your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Bullshit. I'm going to curse because it's the truth. That was a bunch of BS that was fed to us. I didn't fall for it. Majority of the American people didn't fall for it. But why did 18 Republicans vote to expand this damn thing? Because they're catering to their constituents. But their constituents that they're catering to, and I said this on the Pulse last night, are Democrats. Democrat constituents that have never voted for them, that never will, that will never #leave the party and vote for them. So it's crazy. It's asinine to me. Why my friend Congressman Max Miller, who lives in a very red district in Ohio, why he would vote to expand the ACA. And I met him in person and he said, I'm not going to get people off ACA. No, I got constituents that need the ACA. But he's catering and kowtowing to constituents that have never voted for him and never will. The majority of his constituents. The minority of his constituents. I had the pleasure of meeting the majority of his constituents that live in Strongsville, Ohio, that are huge MAGA people, huge Trump people. I mean, I was with a group of over 300 people that were meeting both senators of Ohio plus Max Miller. And he's kowtowing to the ACA in front of his majority red constituents. And Max Miller's no dummy. His ex-wife is actually the eldest daughter of Senator Bernie Moreno. I'm just like, what the heck? What is going on here? He did not think about his child, his daughter. He didn't think about his Jewish constituents. And he didn't think about the majority of his constituents from Strongsville, Ohio, that came out to support him and back him. I'm very shocked by this. But Why does the ACA have to be expanded? Remember, President Trump wanted to repeal and replace it. Speaker Paul Ryan in President Trump's first term lied to him and said, don't worry, Mr. President, don't worry. I found a way to repeal and replace it. We've been working on it for 7 years. And then John McCain comes in at the final and knocks it down. Now, healthcare is hard. Healthcare is one of the hardest things to crack because, again, you have millions and millions of people that have millions and millions of different problems. That's why President Trump didn't even want to work on healthcare in his first term. But by cutting back all these regulations, by sticking it to the insurance companies, by lowering the cost of prescription drugs, that really helps the American people. That really helps the American people. And having RFK Jr. in there as the HHS secretary helps the American people as well. Cutting back those regulations, getting rid of all the dyes, the preservatives, the processed foods. That's why a majority of American people are obese, because of all the processed food that we eat. That's why when I go to Europe, I lose a bunch of weight because everything isn't processed. Everything is like freshly made. I can eat raw duck there and not get ill. But you eat raw meat here, oh my God, you'll be in the hospital. You'll be having diarrhea for 5 days. These are real things, guys. It's so important that we understand the healthcare system. It's so important that you need to understand that having your own private healthcare is important. Not being subjugated to the government, not being subjugated to the ACA, not being subjugated to socialist ideals that Barack Hussein Obama pushed into us for 8 freaking years. Let's put up the next slide, the second slide. So a rapid response. This also has to do with what happened today. Holding big insurance companies accountable. President Trump says it creates the, quote, plain English insurance standard by requiring health insurance companies to publish rate and coverage comparisons up front on their websites in plain English, not industry jargon. Number 2, requires health insurance companies to publish the percentage of their revenues that are paid out to claims versus overhead costs and profits on their websites. I love it. Requires health insurance companies to publish the percentage of insurance claims they reject and average wait times for routine care on their websites. I love this. He is asking the big insurance companies for full transparency of everything. I love it. I love it. It's about time. Hold these big health insurance companies accountable. Publish it out. Publish the percentages. Let's put the comparisons. Let's compare United Healthcare to Blue Cross Blue Shield. Let's compare Cigna to United Healthcare. Let's compare a PPO to an HMO. Most people don't know the difference. What's a PPO? What's an HMO? I don't sell HMOs. I won't do it. HMO means you can only stay within your state lines. Major HMOs is Care First. Kaiser Permanente is an HMO. They do have Blue Cross Blue Shield HMO. They do have United Healthcare HMO. But HMOs are awful. Because if, God forbid, you have an HMO, you're from Maryland, you've got Kaiser Permanente, and you go down to Florida and you get hurt in Florida, you got to call all your doctors up in Maryland to give all this stuff down to the doctors in Florida. It's a pain in the ass, and it costs you more. I work with PPOs. PPOs means you can go across state lines, meaning I have a PPO from Florida. I'm in Maryland. I get sick in Maryland. I get stuck in Maryland. I need to go to a doctor. I got a PPO. Easy. I don't have to call my doctors in Florida. Easy peasy. It's so much easier and it's much less expensive. And I know that these HMOs, they screw the elderly. They screwed my grandfather. Sometimes they wouldn't put the elderly on Medicare. They totally screwed my grandfather. It wasn't until we got my grandfather down to Florida that my father, who's in the insurance industry, put him on a proper Medicare plan. So my grandfather paid zero. Paid zero for the prescription drugs, zero copay. That's how you do it. I know a lot of people at the age of 64, they don't go to the doctor. They wait till they turn 65 so they can get on Medicare and everything can be zero depending on what year you're born. Yeah, Donald Willinger says I have Medicare Plan F and USAA supplemental insurance, no copays. I deal with supplemental insurance too, or it's called, whatchamacallit? Yeah, Medicare Part A and Part B with the supplement. That's how you do it. So you pay absolutely zero. That's what my father has. Or with the supplementals, you have to pay a certain amount a month. It could be $200 a month. It could be $100 a month. No biggie, no big deal. Now, I don't do Medicare Advantage. A lot of people do Medicare Advantage. It's usually really big during big enrollment. Medicare Advantage is for low-income people. It's actually not real Medicare. and I don't deal with that. But I know it's a big business. I don't deal with TRICARE insurance, the VA. VA gives the best insurance to people. I don't deal with government insurance because government insurance, you work for the government, you're pretty much well covered. I'm very fortunate that I'm in a grandfathered plan. Thank God. Grandfathered plans are the best because you pay very little. And once you get off that grandfathered plan, it's very hard to get it back. You can't get it back. It's gone forever. So if you are in a grandfathered plan, I suggest you continue being in that grandfathered plan. But if you need different insurance, give me a call or reach out to me on Facebook, Alexandra Levine. I have people asking me all year round, and I insure people 365 days of the year. The problem is when you do open enrollment, and you only work in open enrollment, Medicare Advantage, you only are signing people up for a certain period of time. You're only signing them up from August until December 15th. That's it. That's open enrollment from August to December 15th. That's it. Not Alexandra Levine. Alexandra Levine insures people specifically under the age of 64 and under. I do individual and I do group insurance. I do group health insurance and I do group life insurance. I do life insurance for individuals as well. But yeah, I mean, what Donald Willinger said, everybody has their own stuff. He said, I get $9,050 of cholesterol shot every 6 months plus my own medical stuff. Yeah. I know people that are on Ozempic. Some insurance covers it, some doesn't. A lot of people are abusing Ozempic. Ozempic is really supposed to be for pre-diabetic or diabetic people. But there's idiots out there that want to lose those 10 pounds and they go on Ozempic. And actually there was a report that Oprah Winfrey, she got off her Ozempic and gained 20 pounds. So that's the issue with these Ozempics and these semaglutides and these GLPs and these tirzepatides. Once you're on it, you can't get off of it. You will gain weight. You will gain weight. And I'll be honest, I went on tirzepatide to lose some weight because I had a big event coming up, but I can't get off of it. If I get off of it, I'll be fat again. I'll get jiggly, wobbly. I'll have cellulite galore. I don't want to be called jiggles. I don't want to be called blubber, but that will happen if I get off my semaglutides. It's actually, if you're trying to get pregnant, they say it's really good to be on Ozempic or tirzepatide because the peptides actually make you more fertile. So for those women out there that are 35 and above or even 25 and above and are having issues getting pregnant, I advise you to go on, not to go on Ozempic or tirzepatide, but to take some type of a peptide, if I can speak. And there's a website called simplepeptides.com. That's where I get my peptides. You can do injections, which they go faster because you're injecting your body, or you can take the pill form. I take the pill form. I don't feel like putting needles in my body, but it's up to you. But yeah, I mean, Jorge Finkelman said, I deal with the AC in Massachusetts. It's hard, but I've managed to lower premiums to some people, sometimes to zero. Yeah, it's true. Like I said, multiple different people have multiple different issues. And I mean, in Massachusetts, it's a very liberal state. They're going to push ACA. Liberal states are going to push Affordable Care Act. That's the problem. That is the problem. That's why it's very important, guys. It's very, very important that we have private health insurance and you do what's best for you. Now, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to diagnose people, but I can tell you when my grandfather got COVID and the whole COVID thing, I became like a doctor. I knew a lot more than my doctors. And honestly, when I go to the doctor, I tell them what I need because I know my own body. If I don't feel good, I'm like, I know I need this, 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 and this. Please don't give me a COVID test. Please don't give me a flu test. I know what I need. No flu shot. Thank you very much. I have to educate the doctors. I went to the doctor recently last week. I had something I had to have done. And it was a young doctor. And she was like, do you do this? I said, yes. She said, do you do this? I said, yeah. She says, well, you're doing everything right. You know exactly what to do. If it gets worse, go to the emergency room. That was her final result. Go to the emergency room. Lay in an emergency room, have them cut you up. And guess how much an emergency room costs? I mean, thank God I have great insurance. But for people who don't have great insurance or don't have insurance at all, they're screwed. Who the hell wants to be hanging out in an emergency room? Have you been to an emergency room lately? It's disgusting. And you're sitting there for hours and hours and hours and hours with a bunch of people that have gunshot wounds or God knows what, or they have critical illnesses, shot in the head, shot here, shot there, stabbed here, stabbed there. That's an emergency room. That's an ER. I've seen enough of Grey's Anatomy in my lifetime to know I do not want to be in an emergency room. especially on a cold day when it's snowing outside. You don't want to be in an ER. And you're lucky if you get a bed. You may even have to share a room with somebody. Isn't that nice? But again, what President Trump is doing is phenomenal, and I love him for it. Let's put up the last slide. Yeah, rapid response 47, lowering drug prices, codifying the Trump administration's most favored nation deals to get Americans the same low prices for prescription drugs that people in other countries pay, making more verified, safe pharmaceutical drugs available for over-the-counter purchase. He's actually going to lower the cost of over-the-counter drugs. I know I take over-the-counter drugs a lot, and my father does too, sometimes when he's very sick, and they're expensive, but not anymore. He wants to strengthen price transparency, as I said earlier, increasing competition and reducing the need for costly and time-consuming doctor's visits. I have insurance, and sometimes I'll sit for an hour waiting for a doctor to see me. I'm like, I don't have ACA. Like, what the hell's going on here? I have insurance. I have a grandfathered in plan. Like, why am I sitting here for an hour waiting for a doctor to see me for 10 effing minutes? That's the problem with these damn doctors. You sit there for an hour or two, and you see them for 10 minutes. And as I said, I'm the one that's telling the doctors what I need. I'm the one that's telling the doctors what pharmacy I need them to fill my prescriptions. And then I have to call the doctors back because they forgot to fill, or they forgot to put in the prescription that I need filled. So this is insane. But yeah, increasing competition, lowering the cost of over-the-counter purchases. I buy Benadryl sometimes and it's expensive. I get Flonase. Everybody knows Flonase. The freaking thing is like $20-something. I use Pat a day because I have allergies sometimes in my eyes from makeup and so forth. The little dropper Pat a day is like $30. Pat a day. A little allergy eye dropper. $30 for that crap. And it only lasts like about, I don't know, 5 uses. But please, guys, really invest in your healthcare. Look at the great health care plan that President Trump implemented today in the Oval Office. And of course, the Democrats combated him and said, oh, he's trying to get rid of the ACA. Oh, he's hurting Americans. Damn Democrat stupid reporters went after Caroline Leavitt today, leftist lunatics. And she's like, where did it say that the president's cutting off people's health care? Like, what the hell? Are you a real reporter or what? And that's the Democrats. They want a government shutdown again. They want the government to shut down because they want to push the ACA, because they have their own socialist agenda. Remember, Medicare for all. Well, guess what? We're not going to do it. And for people that really want to take care of themselves, let's go to our second affiliate sponsor, FoliumPX.com. My man, Mr. Barbray from the country of Georgia. Love that guy. FoliumPX.com. Toxic heavy metals, full body detox. Have you detoxed your body after New Year's? I know I have. I ate a lot of turkey, a lot of stuffing. I lost so much weight before my New Year's Eve party. And then I've been traveling and whatever, and I kind of gained it back. But I'm losing it again. I'm getting back on my program, getting back to the gym. We call it Planet Fitness, even though my friends call it Planet Fatness. It's hilarious. But Planet Fitness is a gym that I do go to. It's cheap as hell. It's like $25 a month, and I go nationwide. But if you get a personal trainer, whatever, you got to use your body. You have to detox your body. You have to give yourself a super antioxidant every single day. Personal trainers love this. If you go to a legitimate gym, they love that you're on this stuff. I'm on this. I love it. I feel cleaner. My skin is healthier. I had a facial done 3 weeks ago before the New Year's Eve party, and I was very lucky. The esthetician told me I had great skin, and that's because I've been taking FoliumPX.com. I've been on it for several months now. So please, guys, go to FoliumPX.com. It's a super antioxidant. It helps reduce stress, anxiety, panic attacks. It helps with immunity. It helps with your digestive system. It helps with hemorrhoids. It helps with a lot of things that you have that, and I know everybody in the world has a lot of the things that I just mentioned. So please, guys, FoliumPX.com. Don't forget to get on that superoxidant today. That's the QR code, and we will be right back after the break.
Welcome to America's Pulse Network. This is APN's very own White House correspondent, Alexandra Levine.
This is so amazing and miraculous. We've never had a president in the history of our nation doing this. And we hope to God that he continues doing this forever and ever. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. And God bless President Trump.
And God bless you.
Hello, everyone. This is Alexandra Levine with the America's Pulse Network. I am the White House correspondent right here in the heart of D.C. as President Trump is celebrating 250 years of America and the military.
Subscribe and follow America's Pulse Network on the above social medias.
Well, hello, guys. We are back. I'm Alexandra Levine. This is Alexandra Levine Live with the America's Pulse Network. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe us and follow us. We are live tonight on Facebook, on YouTube, on Rumble, on True Social, on Parler, on TikTok, on Instagram. We're on all the major outlets. So if you're going on Rumble and you're like, oh, there's not a lot of people on this one, go on X, there's a lot more. If you're on YouTube and there's like 2 people, go on TikTok and Parler, there's a lot more. So we have multiple different people nationwide and worldwide that watch our show. Some outlets have more traction than others. As you know, Facebook and YouTube are the 2 biggest ones that suppress us the most because we are conservative media, because we don't diss President Trump, because we love President Trump. We support the president on our network. But we are very proud of Truth Social, TikTok, and other media outlets and X that have kind of upped our following and upped our listeners and listening because they don't suppress us so much. So thank God to everybody. Thank God to my viewers tonight. Thank you for the comments. Keep them coming. We love them. We like to feature you. As I said, I know a lot of people are watching my show and they're not commenting, which is fine. That is to their discretion, but feel free to comment anytime. So this segment is important because it's about no more funding for sanctuary cities, as President Trump said. But the question to my audience is, why do they even exist? Why do we have sanctuary cities and why do we have sanctuary states? And as I said Tuesday night, I had breaking news. Elected official Tim Fazenmaker was in Baltimore County at the councilman's meeting, and he was testifying with a bunch of people against the anti-ICE bills that Baltimore County Councilman Itzi Patoka, who's a Jewish Democrat, whose parents are Holocaust survivors, he's the one pushing these bills, and he's also running for Baltimore County executive. Here, we're going to play a little clip of Mr. Fazenmaker's testimony to Itzi Patoka and the rest of the people at the council meeting. Let's play it.
Heartbreaking stories right here in Maryland. Rachel Marin, a devoted mother of 5 from Harford County, was brutally raped and murdered while out for a jog in 2023. Her killer, an illegal alien from El Salvador with a history of violence. DeKara Thompson, a bright 19-year-old from Prince George's County, whose life was senselessly taken in 2025 by an illegal alien accused of her murder. Or Kayla Hamilton, whose mother will speak next directly to you today. So here is your chance to show if you really care. Councilman Patoka, will you say Kayla Hamilton's name? Let the record show he did not. These women, our neighbors, our daughters, deserve protection. How many more Maryland families must endure such unimaginable loss before we say?
And that was Tim Fazenmaker. He called out Itzi Patoka for not saying Kayla Hamilton. And actually, after his testimony, he asked Itzi again to say Kayla's name, and he wouldn't say it. There was other councilmen that said that they would say her name, but Itzi Patoka had the audacity to say to Tim, we know that you're just there for campaign points and campaign talking points, which is not the reason why Tim was there. Tim was not there for votes. Tim was there fighting for the American people. He was fighting for his constituents. He was fighting for Baltimore County, which he has lived in most of his life. And he's a father of 4. And he, God forbid, if something happened to his children due to an illegal alien or an illegal criminal, that's on Itzi Patoka's watch, or whoever the next Baltimore County executive will be. It's very important, guys, to realize that there's a bunch of illegal criminals and illegal aliens that live in Baltimore County. And for Itzi Patoka to kowtow to them and saying that and making them above the law over ICE agents is disgusting, over his Jewish constituents. Now, Itzi Patoka, he keeps pushing his religion. How can you compare the Holocaust to illegal criminals coming into your home or coming into not your home, a park, and murdering and raping somebody, like what happened to Rachel Morin? What happened to this girl Takara in Prince George's County? And I'll play in a minute what happened to Tammy Nobles' daughter. Let's hear what happened to Tammy Nobles' daughter. Let's play it.
Thank you for allowing me to speak today. My name is Tammy Nobles, and I am the mother of Kayla Hamilton. Kayla Hamilton was a citizen of Aberdeen, Maryland. She worked very hard. Her and her boyfriend both worked really hard, and they were upstanding citizens. And tragically, her life was taken by a illegal immigrant, MS-13 gang member, who came here unvetted, and Homeland Security and Department of Health and Human Services did not do their job. They allowed him to come across the border into Maryland, and she was not safe in her home. She was brutally raped, murdered, and then raped in her own home and left on the floor like trash. He robbed her of $6 and went to lunch with his half brother like nothing happened. He was at the sponsor's house. The sponsor was unvetted and also here illegally, and he left and nobody said a word.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Tammy Nobles lost her daughter to an illegal criminal from El Salvador who came into her home and raped and murdered her daughter. Her daughter had a big, bright future ahead of her. And Itzi Patoka said nothing. Julian Jones, he did acknowledge that he felt bad for what happened, and he wished that he could have done something. But Julian Jones doesn't blame all illegals for this happening. Julian Jones admits that we have illegal criminals in Baltimore County that need to be removed, but he lies and says that ICE is taking away these illegals that have lived for 25 years that have done so well for society, which is not true. He lied and said that he sees ICE pulling grandma out of a car and pulling grandma's grandson out of the car. That's not true at all. That's not true. And then Pat Young, who's running for Baltimore County Executive, Democrat, he lied and said that ICE agents are actually hurting American citizens, which is another lie. And that guy served our nation, Pat Young. So why are the Democrats kowtowing to illegal aliens and illegal criminals? Now, I know people that have come to this country and they've done things the right way. They came in through a sponsor and they became legal citizens right away. They have allocated to society, assimilated to society, learned our language, learned English. President Trump made an executive order that English is the language of the United States of America. That should be codified. You can't come into this country for 25 years and just reap all the benefits. Illegals came in here and got ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, when legal citizens were not allowed, including my grandfather, including myself, including others. Where's the double standard? Why is there a double standard? But Tammy Nobles has to live with the fact that her daughter is dead. You never want to bury your child. I've said this many times on our program. It is the worst feeling in the world to bury your child. And the majority of the American people do not believe in these anti-ICE legislations, bills that Itzi Patoka wants to push. But they only need 4 to 5 votes in order for it to go through. And the majority of the people on the council are Democrat. It's a 5-4 Democrat-led council. And the councilmen are in charge of the fate, not the people. The people don't vote for it, the council does. So my question to you in Baltimore County and nationwide, do you support anti-ICE legislation? Do you support putting illegal criminals first before legal citizens of your state and of your nation? How many more Rachel Morans and Kayla Hamiltons have to happen, and Jocelyn's and Kate Steinleys, in order for people to wake up? That's why President Trump won. Because these angel moms came forward and told their stories. What if, God forbid, it was your child or your niece or your nephew or your grandchild being raped and killed by an illegal criminal who's been in and out of this country committing multiple crimes, gets slaps on the wrists, is allowed to come back and re-enter this country illegally and no consequences? And since President Trump has been in power with Border Czar Thomas Homan, 0 illegal crossings have been happening. 0 illegal crossings. Yeah, I support ICE too. If you don't support ICE, in my opinion, you're stupid. You're an idiot. Remember, on our program, you are no idiot. That's why people watch my show. You watch my show because you are no idiot. But you are an idiot if you don't support ICE. And you're an idiot if you support Renee Good, who reports are showing now, because we're getting reports from the doctors because of HIPAA, the ICE agent is releasing his records to the country, to the nation, showing that he was brutally hurt. His ribs were injured. He could have died because that idiot, Renee Good, ran him over, almost killed him. She literally rammed her car into him in the front, tried to hurt the officer from the side as well. And Renee Good's stupid wife is the reason why Renee Good is dead. The officer had no choice but to defend himself. It was self-defense. Clear as day, clear as night. We all saw the video. We saw his video camera, his webcam, not his webcam, his body cam footage, the FBI body cam footage, the DHS body cam footage. President Trump saw the footage. It's clear as day that Renee Good intentionally was going there to ram that ICE agent over and possibly other ICE agents. And they said that she was an activist to, to alienate ICE. That's like her full-time job. She was paid to do that. I mean, come on, guys, let's get with the program. To see white liberal ass women shaving their heads in honor of Renee Good, to have Renee Good, or not Renee Good, but people raise $1.5 million on a GoFundMe to Renee Good. What good has she done for the world? What good did she do for society? Nothing. What is she known for? Nothing. She's known for being an idiot. She's known for getting herself killed by breaking the law, by running over or trying to kill an ICE agent. Running over an ICE agent. That's what she's known for. That's what you shave your head for? That's what you support? That's what you give? Or that's what you raise $1.5 million for? Come on. Now, I'm happy that people are raising money for the law enforcement officer, but it took a long time. It took time for people to be like, oh, maybe the law enforcement officer, maybe the ICE agent isn't the bad guy after all. Again, the damn fake news media jumped on the support of Renee Good. Frickin' CNN did it, MSNBC, ABC, all these fake news media outlets that have no credibility in this earth. These are the people that should get their credentials revoked, their White House credentials revoked, and they should not be called journalists because they're not. They're opinion op-ed people. I don't consider myself a journalist. I consider myself an investigative reporter. I didn't go to journalism school. I do not have a journalism degree. But I can read black and white. I can see what's right and what's wrong. I would never, ever, ever jump to conclusions that Renee Good died innocently. No, she died because she's an idiot and her wife is an idiot. And she should not be remembered like a George Floyd. They made this woman out to be a martyr, like Elena Barber said last night on the polls. But it's stories like Tammy Noble's story, Rachel Moore and Kate Steinle. Those are real people that are dead. These are mothers that have lost their children, fathers that have lost their children forever. They can't gain them back. They can't get them back. I thank Tim Fazenbaker for having Tammy Nobles testify. I thank Tim Fazenbaker for testifying and calling out a spade a spade. And I can tell you because I've known him for 6 years, he did not do it for brownie points. He didn't do it for votes. That's how he has always felt, to put the people first. That's why he will win his seat. He will be the new councilman in his district. It is a MAGA America First district. The rhino that's running against him knows nothing, wasn't even there, hasn't said boo, hasn't said anything. He's a boo. His opponent is a boo. Because he stands up for Pete Buttigieg. And that's a fact. He supports Pete Buttigieg for president. He supported him in 2020, 2024, and he supports him in 2028 if he runs. And they're saying, oh, Pete Buttigieg would be great with Kamala Harris, a great ticket. We're calling these people out. We have to. We have to. We have to hold them accountable, because if not, the enemy wins. I've said this before. The enemy wins if we don't call these people out. So now is your chance. It's your chance to make a difference, to sign this petition that Tim Fazenbaker has put up on change.org. Let's put it up there. If you go to change.org, go to Stop Sanctuary Bills 9725 and 9820 in Baltimore County. There's actually close to 300 signatures in just a very short period of time. He put this up less than 24 hours, and the signatures keep going up and up. That's why when I went to refresh it, it just keeps going up and up and up. But if you go to change.org and put Stop Sanctuary Bills, or put in Baltimore County, this will come up, and I can send you all the link as well. You do not have to live in Baltimore County to sign the petition. I'm a Florida resident. I signed the petition. I have people in Ohio sign the petition. I have people that don't live in Baltimore County that signed the petition. Petitions do work. I can tell you because there was over 10,000 people that signed a petition to remove CARE from the Anti-Hate Commission in Maryland, which I testified to remove CARE from the Anti-Hate Commission. And because of the 10,000 signatures on the petition, it was a unanimous vote to remove CARE from the Anti-Hate Commission in Maryland permanently. The more signatures we get, This will be sent to the county council. They will look at it. They cannot go up against the people here, the voters, or even the non-voters. But if they go up against the people here, it's a problem. And this petition will be sent to President Trump and the DHS and his team. President Trump is already aware of these anti-ICE legislation bills. And you know why? Because I made him aware. I made Caroline Levitt aware and many others. Itzi Patoka should not be pushing this. As a Jewish woman, I am appalled and disgusted that he would do this and he would use the Holocaust as a way to push these anti-ICE legislation bills. It doesn't even make sense. You can't compare the Holocaust to illegal immigration. It reminds me of that stupid Congresswoman, Veronica Escobar from El Paso. She said, welcome to El Paso. It's the new Ellis Island. You cannot compare. That's a dumbass, idiotic remark to say. She's an idiot. And I told you, I will call idiots out on the show. That's why people watch my show, because you are no idiot. But I'm so sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired of stupid people and idiots pushing things that they know in their heart is BS. He knows that these illegal immigrants haven't helped him and they hurt his county. But he's doing this for brownie points because the state of Maryland, as you know, does not require photo ID to vote. There's massive amounts of illegals that vote in the elections, including Baltimore County. So he's trying to do this for votes. I can tell you, he will not win the Democrat primary. He's losing ground here. I can predict that Julian Jones will actually win the Democratic primary here, even though Julian Jones stood with a woman that held up a sign saying, if your mother supports ICE, your mother is a hoe. But again, Julian Jones, he admitted that he liked the sign. He thought the sign was funny, but he admitted that there are bad hombres that he said should go to jail. But he doesn't like to see the, quote, good hombres that have lived here for 25 years that have contributed to society. That's all a Democrat talking point too. Oh, we can't get rid of all the illegal immigrants. Let's just get rid of some. No, you get rid of them all. You're on a freaking visa for 25 years. You could have already been an American citizen. Doesn't take that long. If you're from Israel and you want to become an American citizen, it only takes 7 years. Start the process the minute you get off the damn boat. Start the process the minute you come to this country, and then you don't have to worry about getting deported. You don't have to worry about your mom getting deported, your aunt getting deported, your cousin getting deported. Do it the right way. Come in the right way. Again, Justin Murphy said last night, we believe in immigration, but it has to be legal immigration. You have to come in here legally, and you have to come based on merit. Israel has actually one of the best vetting systems for an Arab to become an Arab Israeli. They're very tough in Israel, very tough on getting Israeli citizenship. They heavily vet the Arabs. That's why there's 2 million Arab Israelis in Israel today that live in Jerusalem and other places all over Israel. I know because I've lived there and I know. And I'm friends with some Arab Israelis too. We have to have extreme vetting. We have to have a very heavy vetting system, and President Trump is kicking ass and doing it. But we got to get rid of the bad hombres first, and then we can get the real people here, the legitimate people here that actually want to become American citizens and really contribute to society. And don't forget, as you know, I am the political consultant for Tim Fazenbaker, and I completely endorse and support him on my network. But don't forget, he has a campaign event coming up this Saturday, January 17th. Let's put it up with the QR code. There you go. So Tim Fazenbaker is going to be having this wonderful campaign event with syndicated Newsmax anchor Rob Carson, who's on Newsmax every Monday through Friday from 12 to 3. Rob Carson is awesome. I love him. We all love him. He loves Tim. He's a fan of our network. He's a fan of everybody on our network. And this is going to be a great event. General admission's only $25 at the Bayside Grill. This is in Dundalk, Maryland. Tim actually had his campaign launch at the same place in Dundalk. Excuse me. So it's really great for Tim to go back to his roots again, to work with Rob Carson here. He's going to have a Republican candidate for Governor John Myrick speak, as well as my friend Kimberly Stansbury is running for Baltimore County Executive. She will be speaking as well. So please, guys, get your tickets to this event this Saturday, January 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. This is going to be great. There's the QR code. Let's put up the second slide for Tim as well. So this was actually created by our friend who's a Democrat. He's a Reagan Democrat. His name is Barry O'Connell. And he wrote this on his Everybody's Politics Facebook page. Energy and economic development for Baltimore County. Elect a true conservative to the council, Tim Fazenbaker. And he is. Tim Fazenbaker is a true conservative. Always has been, always will be. He coined the term American Kids First. He believes in the America First agenda, the MAGA movement. He supports the majority of President Trump's policies. He is backed and supported by President Trump's staffers. And President Trump is aware of Tim running for this seat. This is Tim's seat to win. This is his seat. This seat is in the heart of his district and where he's from, born and bred in Dundalk. His seat is in Dundalk, Sparrows Point, and Edgemere, which is the most conservative, America First, MAGA people in Baltimore County. Tim wins the primary. He wins it all. He goes to be your next councilman. So put him in there, vote for him in June, and go to timfazenbaker.com and give him a donation, whether you're going to his event or not, whether you live in his state, live in his county, go to timfazenbaker.com right now. And of course, we support my good friend, Kimberly Stansberry. She's running for Baltimore County Executive. Let's put that QR code up. There you go, my good friend. Go to electkimstansberry.org. That's electkimstansberry.org. She is awesome. She has been touring all over Baltimore County. She knows the role of county executive. She knows legislation like no other. Her husband served our nation. He died of Agent Orange. He was a veteran. He served in Vietnam. He was an awesome guy, Bill Stansberry. And when he died after the primary in 2022, and he said to her, continue your dream, Kim, continue running. I want you to run. I want you to be the next Baltimore County executive. This is your dream, and I am here for you. And Bill was such a wonderful husband, such a wonderful guy. And I wish that I'd known him longer. But Kim is a wonderful person. She's pure. She's transparent. She's smart. She's extremely brilliant, and she knows this role like no other. She is the person that will be your primary winner in the Republican primary. We need her as your next Baltimore County executive. We need her to beat the Democrat in the general, and we need to get back to basics, guys, and we need to get Baltimore County back on track. So please go to electkimstansberry.org. And of course, we have our good friend Damon Galdo. He's running for Congress, New York Congress, District 1. We'll get to Seth in a minute. I wanted to do the campaigns first, and then we'll go to Seth. So votedamongaldo.com, votedamongaldo.com. He's running for not New York. I'm sorry, I don't know why I put New York, New Jersey Congress District 1. We, of course, support Mr. Galdo on this network as someone who's a host and a founder of our network, but as someone who's a personal friend of mine. He is a great guy, married with 2 kids, 2 amazing kids, a wonderful wife. She sometimes comes on the show with him. She's great. And we just want to get him in there. And he's picked to win the primary. We just got to get him in the general. So votedamongaldo.com, go to votedamongaldo.com, donate to his campaign tonight. We also have Justin Murphy. He's running for the United States Senate in New Jersey in 2026. You can look him up, Justin Murphy, for the USSenate.com. I think that's his website. We'll have his website out throughout the week. But if you go to Justin Murphy, follow him on Facebook and X and Instagram. He's kicking butt. He's making the rounds. He's meeting a lot of people. He's been on the Pulse multiple times as our special guest. He'll continue to be on the Pulse. I wholeheartedly endorse and support him. He's very smart. He has been in politics for a long time. He claims he's 60 years old, but to me, he looks a lot younger. I said last night, 60 is the new 40. But he's just an awesome human being. So please, guys, go to Justin Murphy for U.S. Senate 2026 and just give a donation to his campaign today. And of course, now we can go to Seth Eisenberg of the Conservative Corner. He has a GoFundMe. So instead of raising $1.5 million for a crazed lunatic, Renee Good, who was no good, and that's why the Lord took her life, or took her up to, I don't know if she went to heaven or hell, but it's time to give money to our veterans. It's time to give money to Jonah Eisenberg, to Seth Eisenberg. He almost lost his foot a couple times. He's been in and out of the hospital. He has now 2 jobs. He's raising his son. He's helping other people in his household. He's got a mortgage to pay. He's got bills to pay. So please, guys, we love Seth Eisenberg on our network. Please go to help GoFundMe.JonahEisenberg.overcome a financial health crisis. We've raised over $6,500 for him. The goal is 10,000. The ultimate goal is 100K. But we want to get to that 10,000 goal. So, we were up on a really high trend, and now it's kind of like plateaued a little bit, but we want to be on the uptick. It's a new year. time to donate to people that really deserve it, time to donate to people that really need it, time to donate and give back to our veterans. So please, guys, don't forget. And of course, we have Seth Eisenberg from the Conservative Corner. He will be with us this Sunday from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Don't forget to watch him. You can follow him at the Conservative Corner on Facebook and at Conservative Seth on X. And don't forget, we have the Damon Galdo show, the Jersey Shore, every Monday night from 8 to 9 p.m. and every Friday night from 8 to 9 p.m. And don't forget, we have the Pulse every Wednesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. We had a great show last night. You never know who's going to be hosting. I hosted last night, but you never know if I'm going to host next week or whoever. And we always bring on 2 special guests. You never know who the special guests are going to be. Justin Murphy was a guest. Jack Brengan, he's always a guest, and we have recurring guests. But you never know who our next guests are going to be. So please, guys, follow us at America's Pulse Network. Again, we are always live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Rumble, TikTok, True Social, Parler, Instagram, and I think that's about it. I mean, we're on like 7 or 8 platforms right now. And again, thank you to the people who have watched my network, who have been loyal and faithful. Thank you to the comments. Thank you to Don Willinger, Jorge Finkelman, many others that are watching not only nationwide, but worldwide. Again, I have people that watch me worldwide. So please, I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support. It has been awesome. And we're actually America's Pulse Network. Our network is approaching almost a year in March. And we'll be doing a whole year program of that, showing you what a great year it's been. But again, we encourage more people to watch. We encourage sponsors, people that want to sponsor our show, our network, my show, or all of our shows. Just go to americaspulsenetwork.com. And if you want to sponsor our show, or if you want to be a podcaster on our show, please go to americaspulsenetwork.com, fill out those forms, and we would love to have you. And again, guys, don't forget to follow me, Alexandra Levine. I'm very accessible on Facebook, Alexandra Levi 20 on X, A.L.L. Levine 85 on Instagram, on Truth Social, on Parler, on TikTok, on Instagram. I'm on like 5 or 6, 7, 8, 10. I'm very accessible. I'm on so many outlets. But this has been a great hour, a great show, guys. And don't forget, again, the reason you listen and the reason you watch is you are no idiot.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. The America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. APN's The Pulse, hosted by Alexandra, Damon, Elena, and Seth. So tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X/Twitter, Rumble, Truth Social, Parler, Facebook, and YouTube. Join the revolution. Because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
Thank you for watching this episode of Alexandra Levine Live. So please click subscribe and then share on your favorite social medias. This way you will get notified of each upcoming episode. We look forward to hearing from you on upcoming episodes.